Mothers in Gaza are struggling to care for their newborns amidst the chaos of war, displacement, and a crumbling healthcare system. UNICEF reports that over 20,000 babies were born in Gaza in the last year, as the ongoing conflict, triggered on October 7, 2023, continues to devastate the region. Israeli airstrikes have reduced much of Gaza to rubble, killing over 41,500 Palestinians and displacing the majority of the population. The World Health Organization warns that postnatal care has sharply declined, leaving mothers and their newborns vulnerable to malnutrition and infection, especially with limited access to breast milk substitutes. Gazan mother Rana Salah cradles her 1 month old daughter Milana in her arms in a sweltering tent for the displaced and speaks of the guilt she feels for bringing her child into a world of war and suffering. If it were up to me, I wouldn't have gotten pregnant or given birth during the war because life is completely different. We've never lived this life before, she said, speaking at a camp in Deir al-Balah in the central Gaza Strip. Milana was born in a hospital tent by cesarean owing to complications with Salah's pregnancy. The family have not been able to return home due to the conflict, moving instead from one tent to another. The current war, a particularly deadly episode in the decades old Israeli Palestinian conflict, was triggered on October 7, 2023, when Hamas militants attacked Israel, killing 1,200 people and taking about 250 hostages, according to Israeli tallies. Most of Gaza's 2.3 million residents have been displaced. Manar Abu Jarad is staying in a school shelter run by the UN Palestinian Refugee Agency. Her youngest daughter Sahar was born on September 4th, also by caesarean section. Her husband was killed in the war. On hearing she would need a caesarean for the birth, she worried about how she would care for her other children. She now longs for an end to the war and a return to her home, even if it's just a tent next to her former home. The World Health Organization has said postnatal services have decreased significantly in Gaza, so women who have complications have less access to the care they need, as do their babies. Rick Brennan, the WHO's Eastern Mediterranean Regional Emergency Director, said malnutrition was a threat to newborns, particularly if their mothers were unable to breastfeed, as there was no access to breast milk substitutes.